Welcome to the Tinfoil Rabbit Hole, the show that goes deeper than just the page one search results. I am your host, the White Rabbit. This show comes to you from deep down within our tinfoil rabbit hole. It's from there where we'll discuss the strange, the odd, the mysterious, and the unexplained. We'll explore every subject with its accepted definition and understanding, and dive deep into the interweb in search of alternative possibilities. So I invite you to put on your tinfoil hat and stay with me a while inside my tinfoil rabbit hole. Episode 11, The Devil in the Details. Psychologically, humans don't like it when they don't understand things. They hate hidden secrets because they crave knowledge. At the very least, they want to know what is going on and why it is happening. The idea of hidden things, especially in literature, media, and movies, fascinates us to no end. Our interest today is around the occult and social cults. Wikipedia says the occult refers to secret or hidden knowledge, usually of a mystical nature. The term occult sciences was used in the 16th century to refer to astrology, alchemy, and natural magic. The term occultism emerged in 19th century France, where it became associated with various French esoteric groups, and in 1875 was introduced into the English language. In modern English, a cult is a social group that is defined by its unusual religious, spiritual, or philosophical beliefs, or by its common interest in a particular personality, object, or goal. A cult is a social group with socially deviant or novel beliefs and practices, a derived sense of excessive devotion. The White Rabbit advises you to put on your tinfoil gear, because today we're jumping right into our subjects and going deep down inside my tinfoil rabbit hole. It's there where we'll safely examine examples and practices of the occult and social cults to get a better understanding of how to recognize them among us. Social cults are everywhere. Some are mainstream and widely accepted. Others are isolationist and hide from examination at great expense. They are growing and flourishing by the day. Some cause great suffering, while others appear very helpful and beneficial. There are thousands of cults everywhere across the globe. Some are harmless, and some can be very dangerous. They have belief systems that have the answer to all of life's questions, and they offer a special solution to be gained only by following the leader's rules. They require a high level of commitment from at least some of the members, and they usually have 4 dimensions: a charismatic leader, a transcendent belief system, systems for control, and systems for influence. As we'll see, social cults come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Eastern cults are characterized by belief in spiritual enlightenment and reincarnation, attaining the Godhead and Nirvana. Usually the leader draws from and distorts an Eastern-based philosophy or religion, such as Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, or Sufism. Sometimes members learn to disregard worldly possessions and may take on an ascetic and/or celibate lifestyle. Religious cults are marked by belief in a god or some higher being, salvation, and the afterlife, sometimes combined with an apocalyptic view. The leader reinterprets scripture from the Bible, Quran, Talmud, or Kabbalah, and often claims to be a prophet, if not the Messiah. Typically, the group is strict, sometimes using physical punishments as paddling and birching, particularly of children. Often, members are encouraged to spend a great deal of time proselytizing. Political, racist, or terrorist social cults are fueled by belief in changing society, revolution, overthrowing the perceived enemy, or getting rid of evil forces. The leader professes to be all-knowing and all-powerful. In some cases, adherents may be more drawn to an extreme ideology rather than a leader. Groups tend to operate as secret cells. Often the group or individuals are armed and engage in violent activities, including arson, kidnapping, bombing, and suicide bombs. Commercial and multi-marketing cults are sustained by belief in attaining wealth and power, status, and quick earnings. The leader, who is often overtly lavish, asserts that he has found the way. Some commercial cults are crossovers to political and religious cults because they are based on ultra-conservative family values, strict morals, good health, or patriotism. Members are encouraged to participate in costly and sometimes lengthy seminars and to sell the group's product to others. The occult, satanic, or black magic cults are generated through belief in supernatural powers and sometimes worship of Satan. The leader professes to be evil incarnate. Animal sacrifice and physical and sexual abuse are common. Some groups claim they perform human sacrifice. The occult is a category into which gets placed a range of beliefs, from the devil, demons, black magic, and evil spirits. Some people believe the Illuminati and mainstream media, along with Hollywood and even some corporations, are part of the occult, and occults can be social cults, such as those that have been run by Keith Raniere and Charles Manson. This brings us to the idea of the grotesque and the carnivalesque in relation to the occult. Sometimes we want the occult to be seen as something disgusting, something to be fearful of. Sometimes we mock it, turning it into something of a comedy to make it more acceptable. Either way, we use it to explain things for whatever reason. Why am I unlucky in love? Maybe it was a spell gone horribly wrong. Maybe it's a curse. Maybe if we read our palms or check the tarot cards, we can find out. We like to either laugh in the face of the occult or to immerse ourselves in fear over it, because it gives us a reason to keep coming back. Sometimes we mix the grotesque and the carnivalesque together, and there are strange and bewildering outcomes. Think about it. There are many people who believe that the world of the occult is limited to those who do witchcraft or magic, such as witches and Satanists. They believe that they are not influenced by the occult in any way and are safe from it. They celebrate satanic holy days such as Halloween, believing there is no harm in it. They watch television shows about witches and read books about magic and feel there is no involvement with the occult in these practices. However, the fact is that the occult is actually hidden in so much of the media and movies that you almost cannot help but be exposed to it. Contacting dead ancestors through mediums, predicting or telling the future through psychics or fortune tellers, knowing the future, astrology and horoscopes, magic charms, astral projection, calling on the dead, channeling spirits or dead ancestors, seeing or speaking to the dead, Ouija boards, palm reading, chakras, energy reading or moving energy around or aligning energy, spirit guides or spiritists, tarot cards, crystals, automatic writing, white magic, incantations, chanting. All examples of potential occult practices and beliefs. Symbolism and hidden plots and storylines along with images and music lyrics are examples of how the occult influence and get their message through using new media found on the interweb, TV, YouTube, and in movies and books. Then there is anything that is included in witchcraft and Wicca and Satanism, as well as many practices of social cults, secret societies, and other religions that worship false gods, perform animal sacrifice, baptizing the dead, casting spells, doing rituals, cursing people or objects, worshiping idols, summoning demons or seeing and speaking with demons. Many believe that the occult is a creation of the devil. The devil uses these things to make it look good and helpful. He deceives us into stepping into these traps. Most people who get involved with the occult do so either by force or by deception. There are a few who knowingly step into worshiping darkness. There are those who also get forced or tricked into involvement, but then willingly decide to commit themselves to darkness. For these reasons, it makes the occult a dangerous practice. People believe the occult is a gateway to the demonic. Once you open up the door to your soul through occult practices and beliefs, you are giving the devil and his demons rights to your soul. These rights allow them to come inside you, to mess with the way you think, what you believe, how you see the world and God, and your physical being, emotional, and mental state. Some believe that you are only doing astrology or reading books or watching movies, so it's not dangerous. You're not really involved, or it is not really too bad, because you're not actually practicing magic. There is an abundance of multimedia that in our society blatantly and obviously presents dark magic. They are about witches, vampires, and things of that nature. Other things are not so obvious to those who don't have an understanding of the occult and how it works. That's why it is so deceptive, because it is hidden in plain sight. Whether it's one of your favorite movies, such as Star Wars, Maleficent, or Harry Potter, or maybe one of your favorite TV shows, such as Game of Thrones. These are all examples which are laden with imagery, activity, and symbolism speculated to be involved in the occult. Many people are involved in the occult, and half the time, they have no idea. That is because, as the definition says, it is a secret hidden from the uninitiated. Nobody wants to think they are being indoctrinated into the occult or their belief systems held by the occult without their knowledge. It is too shocking and upsetting to even consider for most people. The truth is, the media has the occult weaved throughout it. It is desensitizing everyone to the occult and witchcraft in movies, music, books, and the media. It is hiding the occult in these things so it appears normal and acceptable, not something bad or evil. In this way, it is just unnoticed and therefore non-existent to everyone. But your minds and souls are taking it all in, integrating it into your thoughts and actions subconsciously. The occult is deeply immersed into our culture in every way possible. Why? Many believe the devil runs the show on Earth, that it is his domain, that he is the prince of the earth and does what he wants, which is to fill each of us up with as much evil as possible. They get you started young. As you get older, you gravitate towards other more advanced things of the occult. Again, they seem harmless and fun. Things like astrology, psychics, tarot cards, numerology, Ouija boards, and much more. These are things that are acceptable in our society, but may be tapping into the power of the demonic and harnessing dark energy. Transhumanism, Atlantis, global consciousness, destruction of the family unit, and many other lessons are wrapped up and hidden within the Star Wars tale. It may be occult scripture, readily consumed by today's entertainment-obsessed masses. Is the planned deception of alien life forms and extraterrestrial depictions in Star Wars paving the way for future revelations of alien entities? Or maybe demons in disguise? Disney's $4 billion procurement of the Star Wars franchise places them right where they desire, programming the minds of the youth to accept this future world, which is a deceptive lie. Or the movie The Force Awakens. In the very first trailer, the new villain, named Kylo Ren, is shown dramatically drawing his red lightsaber in a dark forest. His lightsaber is new and different looking because it has a crossbar on the handle. That also forms an inverted cross. Isn't that special? That symbol is used by many in the occult, including Satanists, pagans, witches, and atheists. At the beginning of the film The Force Awakens, we have these words: "Without the Jedi, there can be no balance in the Force." People should wonder what this balance is about. The Jedi and the Sith are similar, we are told, except that the Jedi used the light side of the Force, while the Sith used the dark side. Still, they are both using the Force, just different sides of it. If the dark and light are two sides of the Force, then the Force is not about good and evil, since they must be part of the same thing. Therefore, to talk about good versus evil in light of the Force is contradictory and illogical. This good and evil view is a parallel to the concept of the yin and yang, which come from the same source, the impersonal Tao. The goal is to find a balance between yin and yang in order to have harmony, which is why there are so many references to balancing the Force in these films. Not only is the occult idea of balancing the Force expressed, but also the occult view that the dark side is from the same source as the light side and is merely going deeper within it. Balancing the Force must mean that both the dark and light sides remain intact. It is never a question of the light side vanquishing the dark side. That is impossible, since in order to exist, the Force must have both a dark and light side. This view is an occult dualistic view, which holds that good and evil must coexist in order for each to exist at all. The Force, like the Tao in Taoism, is neutral. Underlying Taoism beliefs are strong in the Star Wars story. The example of the Force with its dark and light sides like the Tao and yin and yang, along with underlying ideas from Zen Buddhism, may be just one example of the occult expressed in the films. Don't let the religion of Star Wars infiltrate and possess your mind without first considering and becoming aware of the true teachings insidiously hidden within what some espouse to be a Promethean tale of occultism. There are many symbols and occult references that stand out in today's music culture, from the historical artifacts musical artists carry around today. It seems the occult world has never really gone away. In fact, it has become more flagrant and blatant. The problem is that many are unaware of the meanings behind what they consider to be purely artistic entertainment with no real hidden meanings or agendas behind them. However, there are many artists who promote their music using occult influences. The music culture has aligned itself with something much more than just poetic lyrics and catchy sounds. The symbolic veil is thinning between the physical and spiritual realm, but many are too blind to see it. It is important to be aware of the occult agenda that is manifesting in greater force these days. Kanye West is a popular music artist who promotes his music with imagery that has deep occult meaning rooted in Freemasonry. He has recently claimed to have found God and even released an album of spiritual music. It remains to be seen whether or not this is true or just another ploy to lure people into the occult, one that he is still a member of regardless of the new Kanye, one who has been spiritually changed. He's been seen with horned females next to him in videos and live performances. They represent two goddesses of ancient Egypt, Isis and Hathor. Isis was the goddess of nature, magic, and motherhood. Hathor was the goddess of music, dance, and fertility. They are known as the protectors of the dead as they journey into the afterlife. In the occult, the initiates symbolically die and are reborn. Kanye has been seen standing under the sword of Damocles as part of a Masonic ritual to obtain the 33rd degree. This rite happens in public, and the more there are witnesses, the more power is given. In a metamorphical sense, Kanye kills off his former self and is reborn to receive power right in front of his public audience. The ancient Egyptian god Horus was considered to be the sky god, who was represented in the symbol of the single, all-seeing eye. The one eye is the most well-known in occult symbolism and is where the Great Seal of the United States originates from. The symbolism of Horus is very important in Freemasonry. The path of the initiate through the Masonic degrees is descriptive of the process by which the eye of Horus is opened. A pillared gateway is for the exclusive illuminated ones. Kanye has been seen both wearing a Horus pendant and using pillars in his imagery in shows. That has importance and significant meaning in Freemasonry. Occult symbolism has become mainstream, but not many recognize it for what it is because of the lack of knowledge about its origins. From music, fashion, and the entertainment industries, there is a surge in occult symbolism that is hidden in plain sight. Symbols are created as a mark of ownership, giving special significance to the ones who use it. Symbols and imagery are a way to manipulate our thought process on issues such as economics, war, politics, and religion. The masses are obliging and embracing Illuminati ideologies to support their agenda of attaining a one-world system that is disguised in general words like global, peace, unity, security, and safety. There is a new world order that is being promoted where a certain elite group has control over government, industry, and media throughout the world. Michael Aquino is an American-born occultist, Satanist, and lieutenant colonel in the military. He is also the author of the book of Coming Forth by Night. He is also known as the 13th Baron of Roshane in Scotland. A former lieutenant colonel in the United States Army, Aquino had been a specialist in psychological warfare operations during the Vietnam War, but is perhaps best known as a high priest of the Church of Satan. He is also the founder and high priest of the Temple of Set, which today is one of the largest neo-satanic churches in the U.S. Aquino claims to have received a communication from Satan himself. Aquino rose to the rank of lieutenant colonel with military intelligence. Initially, he was involved in military psyops as a special forces officer, as a civil affairs officer, and as a defense attaché. He retired in 1994 with an unblemished, distinguished record after 22 years of active duty. He had been assigned to the headquarters of the U.S. Space Command with an above top secret clearance. Throughout much of the 80s, Aquino was at the center of a controversy involving the Pentagon's outright satanic practices inside the military. He was a prime suspect in a series of pedophile scandals involving the sexual abuse of hundreds of children. He was investigated by the Army for the involvement in these pedophile cases. He retained his high-level security clearances and was involved in pioneering work in military psyops. Eventually, after one of his child victims came forward, his home, which was also the headquarters for the Temple of Set, was searched. In the raid by the police, they confiscated 38 videotapes, photo negatives, and other evidence that the home had been the hub of a pedophile ring operating in and around the U.S. and its military bases. Social cults are particularly disturbing. They usually involve people in the public realm. An example of this is Allison Mack, a popular actress in Smallville. The former Hollywood actress rose up the ranks to second in command in the sex cult NXIVM, whose founder was Keith Raniere. NXIVM is spelled in Roman characters NXIVM, and was a so-called self-help company. Keith Raniere founded NXIVM as a personal development company offering executive success programs and a range of techniques aimed at self-improvement. Raniere claimed that the program's main emphasis is to have people experience more joy in their lives. During NXIVM seminars, students were expected to call Raniere Vanguard, and it's said that Raniere adopted the title from a favorite arcade game. Some 3,700 plus people had taken part in ESP classes. NXIVM featured a 12-point mission statement, which participants recited pledging to purge themselves of all parasitic and envy-based habits, to enroll others in such courses, and to ethically control as much of the money, wealth, and resources of the world as possible within the success plan. Rainier manipulated women. He considered them his sex slaves. He branded and burned them in an unorthodox pyramid scheme. These crimes are not only shocking, but disconcerting, to say the least. During an NXIVM ritual, each woman was told to undress and lie on a massage table, while 3 others restrained her legs and shoulders. Their master, a top NXIVM official, instructed them to say, "Master, please brand me. It would be an honor." A female doctor proceeded to use a branding iron to sear a 2-inch symbol below each woman's hip, a procedure that took 20 to 30 minutes. The brand left an unusual mark that, when decoded, represented his initials, A.R., and also spelled the word karma. It was an extremely curious and simple mark, while also being highly cryptic and brilliantly devised. Sadly, our time in the Tinfoil Rabbit Hole has come to an end. The White Rabbit hopes you enjoyed your time here and invites you to return and visit with him again in the Tinfoil Rabbit Hole.
Where the hell is Tesla?